understand that we can't control what people say, but as we see in the ABC News case, if someone goes on television and says things that are patently false and the person that they're discussing decides to sue, it can become very contentious. Apparently, ABC News was trying to figure out how they could avoid having George Stephanopoulos sit down for a discovery deposition when they finally just cracked and caved and decided that George Stephanopoulos would pay $1 million, and that I assume will cover the legal costs for President Trump. And then there's $15 million that they're going to donate. And this is a settlement. There is no legal judgment here. This disposes of the case from President Trump to them, his lawsuit against them. Are the other news channels now subject to the same type of lawsuit for uttering the exact same sentences that George Stephanopoulos uttered?
Potentially, very much so. If it's still within the statute of limitations, if it's done close enough in time, if the lawsuit comes close enough in time to when these statements are made, absolutely, other networks, other organizations can find themselves as defendants in a lawsuit. This is defamation. When you're calling someone a rapist and that person has never been convicted or charged with rape, that is defamation. And that is something that can get you in trouble. That's why everyone who's on TV, everyone who's quoted in the media, we all have to make sure that what we're saying is accurate and correct. And if there is a mistake that's made that's unintentional, we have to correct it. We can't just let people believe misinformation or believe something that we know to be false. That gets us in trouble. So other networks that have not been vigorous in making corrections or in making sure that people are speaking factually, they're absolutely opening themselves up to lawsuits.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the standard, because some people are under the mistaken apprehension that if you say something about someone and they're a public figure, you really get to just kind of make whatever statements you like because public figures are subject to slander, defamation, etc., and there's nothing they can do about it. I don't think that's true. I think there's been an update to that standard, which basically says you still have to tell the truth or the person can sue you.
You still have to tell the truth. When it comes to public figures, there's more of an intent element that as well. In the knowing part, you have to know that what you're saying is not true. Whereas with ordinary folks who are not public figures, there's a slightly lesser standard. But at the end of the day, the ultimate issue is saying something that you know to be incorrect or you have found out to be incorrect. You do have to make that correction. You do owe that person who you make the statement about, if not an apology, at least a withdrawal and a clarification. And whether or not you're a public figure, that still needs to take place. You cannot allow false information, especially once you know that it's false, to live out there in the ether without making some effort at correcting it.